What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about a potential night mode coming to DMZ, some new updates, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and let me know down below in the comment section, what else do you guys want to see added to DMZ at some point in the future? Is it a marketplace, so there's more endgame type of content? Is it better faction missions, more maps, or even more to do within the maps themselves, aside from just weapon cases or other little contracts that you can find around the environments? Let me know how you're feeling about that one. But we had this very interesting tweet that nobody out there has really talked about all that much. Couldn't see much discussion about it over on YouTube either. This is from Prime Gaming over on Twitter. It says, "Don't mind us, we'll be hanging out on MWII until Season 2 starts," and it's a clip of a transition from day to night in a match of DMZ. Now, I know you're probably thinking, right, how likely really is it that Prime Gaming of all places, or all companies, are the ones that are teasing a night mode for DMZ and not Call of Duty themselves or the usual leakers on Twitter? Why would it be Prime Gaming to reveal this? And you may have a point there, right? Maybe this doesn't mean that much, but in the clip, it's a pretty good idea of what DMZ would look like if it had a night mode. And with that in mind, it was confirmed a couple of months ago during a conference call that what is in the works for DMZ is as follows: dynamic weather. So if dynamic weather is in the works, it begs the question, right? How would that exactly work? Do you spawn into a match and it could be either daytime, sunset, or nighttime? Or would it be something where matches somehow last longer, or a never-ending type server is added to DMZ? I know there's a rumor about that as of a little while ago that Activision's looking into. It's like a never-ending multiplayer match. Maybe that's DMZ related, to where you hop into a match and it's a never-ending server to where you can see the actual weather go from sunny to cloudy to rain, daytime to nighttime. Maybe that's possible, but as of right now, matches just don't last long enough for the time of day to necessarily change, but maybe just long enough for you to start seeing it go from regular clouding conditions or sunny conditions to rain, maybe a bit of hail. They could possibly do that in the future, and if so, what map would we see that on? Just MWII, just Ashika Island, because it'll be easier, it's a smaller map. Obviously, we won't see any weather on Building 21. I wonder how that would exactly work, but it also raises a question of seeing LTMs for DMZ at some point in the future. Warzone 1 got quite a few LTMs throughout the duration of Warzone 1's life cycle, from Modern Warfare 19 to Cold War to Vanguard. We saw quite a few different LTMs. I mean, right now, Warzone 2 has only just gotten Mini Royale as an option in third person, but I would love to see more for DMZ at some point, whether it is just third person mosh pit or a type of Mini Royale option. Lots of cool possibilities with that, but what if dynamic weather was part of an LTM of sorts, not the main DMZ experience to where it affects your regular gameplay? Now, you guys might be thinking NVG on DMZ probably isn't a good idea, right? We saw NVG modes in Modern Warfare 19 multiplayer, and I'll just say, for some of the party game modes, I mean Gun Game or Infected, they were fun, but playing Azure Caves Night or something just wasn't it. I mean, you know what, NVG variants of multiplayer maps is just extra content. I really don't mind it. You don't have to market it on a roadmap, but if Modern Warfare 2 ended up seeing some NVG type variants of our existing multiplayer maps, I'd give it a shot. Hopefully it would play well. Obviously, it promotes a lot of camping and slower based gameplay. It's a bit scary, so I get why you guys might not like it, but it's extra filler content that, in my opinion, should be coming out in between every major season, right? Don't market it as new content on a roadmap or a blog post, but drop those during the dry periods like we saw in January, where nothing was coming out, there was no communication, no marketing on Twitter. That's when stuff like that makes the most sense to me. The campaign also did establish some solid MVG gameplay here on Modern Warfare 2's engine. I know it's the same engine as Modern Warfare 19 and Vanguard, but the new and enhanced engine, I should say. We saw what MVG could look like here for this new experience for COD 2.0, so I could definitely see them doing some MVG at some point in the future of this game's life cycle, whether it's for multiplayer or Warzone or DMZ. We never got an MVG variant for Warzone 1 Battle Royale, but I wouldn't mind seeing that at some point for Resurgence Ashika or DMZ on one of the maps. I'm open to the idea, but maybe the player count for NVG in Modern Warfare 19 just wasn't where it needed to be to justify wasting resources on it for this game. But for a game called Modern Warfare 2, and for all the night vision themes that we see in the marketing, I mean, the green logo, the green theme of the game, and the fact that it's kind of like a spiritual successor to the original Modern Warfare 2, how are we just not going to see any more night vision action? I mean, we have it over in Spec Ops. Maybe you guys probably like it better if they keep NVG to just Spec Ops and those kind of experiences, not online PvP. Maybe that's what they'll do, but I definitely think there's a lot of potential with doing NVG at some point in the future of DMZ. But what's also really important to me that might not be that important to you, but I'll bring this up anyway, is differentiating how the environment looks across every game mode. For example, right, we have MWII, and you see a lot of sections of MWII in regular multiplayer. You see MWII in Battle Royale. You see it in DMZ. all you really have to do is just make the environment look different across every game mode, right? They kind of started doing that with the Sheikah Island, not so much Al Mazrah. Al Mazrah looks exactly the same if you play it in Ground War, 6v6, Battle Royale, DMZ, but a Sheikah Island is the first map where they actually made an attempt to change things up a bit. It's pretty clear as day in Resurgence, but is very cloudy in DMZ. That's a start. That's kind of going into quote-unquote dynamic weather, not so much, but it changes the look of the map to where it almost feels like you're playing a different map at some areas of the environment where you're like, oh, this area just isn't what it's like in Resurgence. When I played in DMZ, it plays a lot differently. I have to be more tactical. I can't really see that well. That is a good start. So that's why I'm saying if they do some type of day-night cycle, it'll be really cool to see how people out there just forget that it's the same environment across every game mode. Kind of like the issue we saw over in Cold War, where people out there who are Zombies fans were upset that the Fireteam regions were reused for Outbreak. And the way I saw it at the time was, okay, hardcore Zombies fans probably didn't even play much multiplayer, let alone Fireteam, so why does it matter? But Treyarch could have definitely done a little bit more to the Fireteam regions to give them more of a zombie-fied feel, because they were practically just the same environments, but with zombie spawns and crystals everywhere and whatnot. So as long as you just change up the weather is what I'm trying to say, or the lighting, that does make a difference. And they actually did do that with at least one of the regions. That's Sanatorium, right? Sanatorium day for Fireteam, Sanatorium night for Outbreak Zombies. That's all I'm trying to get at here for DMZ as well, or just COD 2.0 in general. If you have to use the same environment because of lack of resources, development time, crunch, whatever constraints, that's fine. Use the same environments, just change up how they look so that people out there aren't going to be there saying, oh, it's just the same map, it's lazy, it's reused, it feels like I'm playing the same thing no matter what game mode I hop onto. That lighting and the environment and the weather could make that much of a difference. Now overall, I think dynamic weather could really spice up PvP action quite a bit if they actually incorporate it more in the future of DMZ. I'm gonna guess we'll likely see 1 to 2 more DMZ maps added during COD 2.0 cycle. It's unclear how DMZ is gonna get supported, since right now it's being claimed that COD 2023 coming out this fall is just more Modern Warfare 2, but it is a standalone game developed by Sledgehammer. We're not sure what that means for DMZ, but I would say since DMZ is still in beta, there's a lot of room for improvement with not just the faction missions, replayability, or the rewards, but things like a day-night cycle, things like a marketplace. You have a reason to extract with a bunch of cash, so you can use that money at the menu to buy certain things. And then from there, that justifies doing the seasonal wipes where you lose your inventory like Escape from Tarkov does. There's so much DMZ can get, and I feel like because it still has that beta label right now, there's so much potential and the door is open to so much more that we will hopefully see during Modern Warfare 2's life cycle. Hopefully by like season 4 or 5, DMZ comes out of beta and they say, you know what, now this is complete. This is everything we wanted to do in DMZ. Here's all of it executed right here, right now. Let's see if they go ahead and do that. Something else I was also thinking is that if they're gonna go ahead and say, you know what, Trios is the only entry point we want for DMZ, fine, right? If that's gonna be the case, we'll leave it at that then. There'll never be an option to see solos, duos, or quads for DMZ. I respect that. But, and maybe but, if there is a NVG LTM for DMZ, they can make that solos or duos only, but they'll never have a solo, duo, or quad option for regular DMZ. But maybe the LTMs that incorporate dynamic weather or NVG, those could be the options for DMZ that do incorporate those other squad sizes. Maybe that's how they'll do it. I mean, looking at how Resurgence is being handled right now, they're not doing solos until I think it's today or this weekend when they're finally adding that in. Duos and trios aren't being added in for a while. Maybe DMZ will be something similar where they do end up confirming, hey, more squad sizes are coming, but there's a catch. Not that they're gonna separate the launches of those different squad sizes, but they'll only make those squad sizes for different versions of DMC that aren't the main one. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on a potential night mode being teased for DMZ by Prime Gaming? What are your thoughts on the future updates that DMZ does need and everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.